Alright, so we continue on the series. This is question number 11, WAEC 2023 past questions. So it says, if m is to n equal to 2 whole number 1 over 3 is to 1 whole number 1 over 5, and n is to q equal to 1 whole number 1 over 2 is to 1 whole number 1 over 3, find q is to m. So this question is on ratios, right? And you need to know that ratio tell us how something or a quantity of anything is shared amongst a people, maybe 2, maybe 3. So, and all that you need to know is that ratios can also be written as a fraction. So to make this very easy for us, we just write everything in fraction. So m is to n is the same as saying m divided by n equal to. So we're just going to write these ones in proper fraction. So we have 3 times 2 6, 6 plus 1 7, 7 over 3. I would have written this as divided by 5 times 1, which is 5 plus 1. You have 6 over 5, but it's going to look strange, so I'll just write it as 7 over 3 divided by 6 over 5. I think that's okay now. So the other one, we have n is to q written as n over q equal to 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3 over 2 is to, we use the same method, divided by 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, that's 4 over 3. Now let's simplify this further. 7 over 3 divided by 6 over 5 is the same as 7 over 3 times, you swap, immediately you change the division sign to multiplication sign, you have to swap the denominator for the numerator, so it now becomes 5 over 6, and that should give us m over n is equal to, nothing can divide, so we just multiply through the numerator and the denominator. 7 times 5 is 35, and 3 times 6 is 18, while here we have 3 over 2 times, we'll do the same, swapping. 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 4 is 8. So what do we have now? We have that m over n is 35 over 18, and we also have that n over q is equal to 9 over 8. However, what are we looking for in the question? We're looking for q is to m, so we have to make q and m the subject in both cases. So let's make m the subject, so we can just cross multiply. So we have 18m is equal to 35n. Dividing through by m, you now have, or rather dividing through by 18, m will be equal to 35n divided by 18. While here, if we cross multiply to make q the subject of the formula, we have that 9q is equal to 8n, so that q will be equal to 8n over 9. So that's basically what we want. And then from the question, we asked to find q is to m. So let's just solve that quickly. Now if we wanted to get the value of q is to m, remember it's the same as q over m. So let's substitute. What's q? Q is 8n over 9 divided, so because of their multiple fraction, just use the division symbol, and m is 35n over 18. We'll do the same. 8n over 9 times, we'll swap the denominator for the numerator, it becomes 18 over 35n, such that n can cancel n. 9 into itself is 1, 9 into 18 is 2. So finally we have that q over m is equal to, let's multiply 8 times 2 to give us 16, and 1 times 35 is just 35. So this is the final answer. If you write it as a ratio, is q is to m equal to 16 is to 35, and this is the final answer, 16 to 35. So let's look for the corresponding value there. 16 to 35 is the option A. So that's it for this question. Alright, for question number 12, we have that 1/3 the sum of two numbers is 12, twice their difference is 12. Find the two numbers. So let's take this one step at a time. 1/3, so we know that 1/3 means 1 over 3, right? 1/3 the sum of two numbers. So let the first number be equal to x, and let the second number let's say equal to y. So 1/3 of the sum, so the sum of x plus y, if we get 1/3 of it, so this is what it means. 1/3 of x plus y is equal to 12, and we also have that twice their difference. So twice means 2 times the difference is x minus y is also equal to 12. Find the two numbers. So basically we're looking for x and we're looking for y. So let's just simplify let's simplify the first one. So simplifying this, if we multiply through, we have that x plus y over 3. The numerator just multiplied everything. 1 times x is x, 1 times y is y, then divided by 3 there is equal to 12. Right? If we cross multiply, this is same as 12 over 1. X plus y will be equal to 12 times 3 is 36, so that x is equal to 36 minus y. So we just got the value of x there. Now we can just substitute the value of x in the second equation, because basically we can even number this equation as equation 1 and this one is equation 2. So let's just substitute the value of x as 36 minus y, which is what we have here, in equation 2. So if we do that, we now have that 2 brackets x now is 36 minus y, then minus y there is equal to 12. So simplifying, we have that, and then multiply everything. 2 times 36, 2 times 6 is 12, right? So carry 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus that one, I have 72. 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times another y is 2y, equal to 12. Let's keep going. So we have that minus 2y will eventually give us minus 4y, equal to 12. Positive 72 crossing becomes negative 72. So negative 4y is equal to 12 minus 72 should give us negative 60. So that y is equal to negative 60 divided by negative 4. The negative signs will cancel out, and 4 into itself is 1. 4 into 60, we have 1 remainder, 2 into 20 there is 5. So y is 5, which is one of the numbers. So how do we now get x? We can get x from this equation here. If we have that x is equal to, and let me just differentiate. If we have the x is equal to 36 minus y, x now will be equal to 36. We got the value of y as 15. So 36 minus 15, 6 minus 5 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 21. So finally we have that x is equal to 21 and y is equal to 15. So which corresponds to that? That's the option A, 21 and 15. So A is the correct option. That's it for this question. From question number 13, we have that find the quadratic equation whose roots are 2 over 3 and negative 3 over 4. So from the option, you see that the unknown variable used there is y, so we can just use y. Remember that roots of an equation simply means the answers, right? So it means that when this quadratic equation was solved, we had the answers as y equal to 2 over 3, and we also had the answer as y equal to negative 3 over 4, because you always have two answers when you solve a quadratic equation. So we're just going to keep reversing until we get back the quadratic equation. So let's just cross multiply. For the first one, we have that 3y is equal to 2, and then crossing the other two, we have that 3y minus 2 is equal to 0, right? Then for this one, we have that 4y is equal to negative 3. 4y plus 3 now, because negative 3 crossing becomes plus, is equal to 0. So this is what we have. We have 3y minus 2 equal to 0. We have 4y plus 3 equal to 0. So we just take one of them in the two brackets and then put one outside. So this is going to be 4y, open a bracket of 3y minus 2, the same way we solve quadratic equations. So I've collected this 4y, multiplied it with 3y minus 2, then I'm going to multiply 3 and also multiply it with 3y minus 2, and that should be equal to 0. So if I expand this bracket, I should get the quadratic equation. So 4 times 4 there is 12, y times y should give us y squared. 4y times negative 2 should give us negative 8y. positive 3 plus 3y is positive 9y, and positive 3 times negative 2 should give us negative 6 equal to 0. Finally, we have that 12y squared, negative 8y plus 9y should give you just plus y, minus 6 equal to 0. So this should be our answer. So which option corresponds to that? Sorry, we had 12y squared plus y minus 6, so that should be the option C, which is just there. So that's the correct option, option C, 12y squared plus y minus 6. And that's it for this one. Alright, for question number 14, we are asked to make S the subject of the relation, and the relation is y equal to as cubed minus b divided by 3z. So we just want to make S the subject of the formula. So we can start solving that somewhere here. We have the relation is y equal to as cubed minus b divided by 3z. So we can start by cross multiplying this problem or this equation. So when we cross multiply, we have that y times 3z is going to give you 3yz equal to as cubed minus b, right? So you could possibly write this as 3zy, but anyway it's still correct. So we just like to write it according to alphabetical order, so y before z. So since we are looking to make s the subject of the formula, we need to just cross negative b. So this becomes 3yz plus b equal to as cubed. So we have crossing this a the other side is multiplication here. When it goes to the other side, it will divide. So we have finally s cubed is equal to 3yz plus b divided by a. Now if you want to eliminate the cube, then when you cross the equality sign, it becomes the cube root. So finally this becomes the cube root of everything, which is 3yz plus b divided by a. So, and that is x. So let me just write it better here. X is equal to the cube root of 3yz plus b all over a. So that should be our final answer. And I can already see that as the option B, which is x equal to cube root of 3yz plus b all over a. So that should be the correct option. And that's it. Alright, for question number 15, we have that the price of a shoe was decreased by 22%. If the new price was $27.30, what was the original price? So this is a percentage decrease problem, and from the formula we have that percentage decrease is given by the decrease divided by the original or actual price times 100%. So first of all, in order for us to use this relation, we need to know the decrease. So how do we get the decrease? We know that the decrease is the original minus the new price, right? So since we don't know the original price, that's actually what we're looking for. Let's just call it x. So the original, which is x, minus the new price, which is 27.30. So using this now, we can find this decrease, or rather the original price. So the percentage decrease from the question, if you can see, it was given us as 22%. So we're going to substitute the value. So still from this relation, we have the percentage decrease as 22% is equal to decrease. While our decrease now is x minus 27.30 divided by the original. Well, we still let the original be x, so divided by x times 100%. Percentage can just cancel the percentage there, so our final answer will not have any such thing as percentage. And then this will now be 22 is equal to, let's just multiply the numerator. 100 times x is 100x minus 100 times that is, we just move the decimal 2 times, so it becomes 2700 divided by x. We can just cross multiply. So this is something as over 1. We have 100x minus 2730 equal to 22x. So let's move x to the other side and the other one to the other side. So we have 100x. Positive 22x crossing becomes negative 22x. That's equal to negative 2730 crossing becomes positive. So 100 minus 22 should give us 78, right? Yeah. So we have 78x is equal to 2730. So finally, dividing it by the coefficient of x, which is 78, x is going to be 2730 divided by 78. And if you punch this in the calculator, you're going to have 35. Since they gave us the value in dollars, so you have $35. That is the original price. So let's check $35. It corresponds with the option D. So that's the answer for this question. For question number 16, we have that the radius and height of a solid cylinder are 8 cm and 14 cm respectively. Find, correct to 2 decimal places, the total surface area. So what we're looking for, or what we're expected to find in this problem, is the total surface area. So what's the formula to get the total surface area of a cylinder? The formula is A equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Alright, the 2 pi r squared is for the two surface area of the tops. The top of cylinder is a circle, and then pi r h for the body, so that we have the area equal to 2 times, we are given pi as 22/7, so we have 22/7 times, we are given the radius as 8 cm, so we have times 8 times 8, that's 8 squared, then plus 2 times pi again is 22/7 times r is 8 and the height is 14. So this is all we need to do to get the answer. Alright, since nothing can divide, so we just multiply everything. So if I multiply everything, that's 2 times 22 times 8 times 8 divided by 7, and add it to 2 times 22 times 8 times 14, or rather we can just simplify this. 7 into 14 will be 2, just to make it easier. So everything is going to give me, from what I have in my calculator now, which you can also confirm, is 1106.28571, and all that. So since we are asked to approximate to the second decimal place, we have 1106 points. This is the first decimal, the second decimal, so we check the number after the second decimal. Is it up to 5? Yeah, it's exactly 5. So 8 will be rounded up to 9, and that's centimeter squared. So we have 1106.29 cm squared, and it corresponds to the option C. So for this question, option C is the correct answer. Alright, for question number 17, we have that in the diagram, O is the center of the circle NST. The line NT is equal to the line ST, and angle NTS, that's angle T there, is equal to 36 degrees. Find the measure of the angle marked T. So we're looking for this angle T. Now, first of all, I need to tell you that this was not drawn to scale, and this is the best I could draw it already. So even though many things are not going to look like it, we just have to know, number one, it was not drawn to scale, and number two, we're just going to follow the circle theorems, right? So if you know the circle theorems, this is a very simple question. So we're going to use the rules and the laws of the circle theorems. Alright, let's find the angle T. First of all, the first line of action is from the circle theorems. We have that the line ROV is a tangent, and from the circle theorems, since the center is O, that means, I think I need to get another color of pen there. Since the line O is the center, that means this line is radius, right? Because a line from the center of the circle to the circumference is radius. From the circle theorems, we have that if the radius will always intercept the tangent at 90 degrees. That means the angle from this radius to this tangent is 90 degrees. This is from the circle theorems. And then the second way is, another thing we need to know is that the angle at the center of the circle is double of that at the circumference. So if this is 36 degree, this angle formed here now will be the double of 36. So that angle will be equal to 36 times 2, which will give you 72 degrees. So this angle here is 72 degrees. So if we know that, it becomes very easy for us to simplify, because all we need to do is, since we know that from the radius to the tangent is 90 degrees, we just need to find this small angle here, which I'm marking with green. If we find it, we just subtract it from 90 degrees. It will give us the rest of the angle, which is angle T. So it will give us angle T when we do that. So to get T, we just have to find the green angle, subtract it from 90, and we have the blue angle, which is T. So let's do that. However, how can we do this? The triangle NOS is an equilateral triangle, so it means that the two base angles are always equal, right? So in an equilateral triangle, the two base angles are equal. So let's call this angle A. Here should also be A because they are equal. So we have that angle A plus angle A plus plus 72 degree should give us 180 degree. This is because the sum of angles in the triangle is equal to 180. So let's simplify. A plus A will give us 2A plus 72 is equal to 180 degree. So 2A is equal to, collecting like times, we have the 180 degree minus 72 degree. 2A is equal to 180 minus 70 is 110. 110 minus 2 is 108. So that A is 108 divided by 2, which will give us 54 degrees. So we have A as 54 degrees. So finally, the angle T will just be 90 minus 54, because the whole of this is 90. A is 54, so if we subtract 54 from 90, we have the angle T. So T will be equal to 90 degree minus 54 degree, and T is obviously 90 minus 54 should give us 36 degree. So the correct option there is option A. So all you need to know is the circle theorems, and you can always simplify. That's it. Okay, for the question number 18, we have that a sphere has radius 3 cm. Find in terms of pi its volume. So we're going to solve in terms of pi. First of all, what's the volume of a sphere? The volume of a sphere is given as 4/3 pi r cube. So we just substitute. This is 4/3 times pi. Since it's in terms of pi, we're not going to replace it with 2/7. We just solve with pi times r squared, which is 3 times 3 times 3. So that 3 will cancel 3. So the volume finally is equal to 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 4 should give us 36 times pi. That's 36 pi cm cube, because volume is always given in cm cube. So that's our answer. And the correct option there is option C, 36 pi cm cube. That's it. Alright, for question number 19, we are asked to arrange the following numbers in ascending order of magnitude, and we have 110 base 2, 31 base 8, and 42 base 5. Now the easiest way of doing this is just to write all of them in base 10, and then we can really see them for their true value, and we pick the correct option. So 110 base 2, we just use the repeated multiplication for all, which I believe is the fastest method. So we take the first number and multiply by 2, which is the base. So we have 1 times 2, that's equal to 2. We add the next number, which is 1, that's 3. We go over the process. 3 times 2 is 6. We add the next one, which is plus 0. So that's 6 base 10. Alright, 31 base 8. The first number 3. 3 times 8. And that should give us 24. 24 plus 1. That's 25 base 10. Then we do that for 42 base 5. 42 base 5. The first number there is 4. So 4 times 5, which is the base, is 20. Then plus 2. That's 22 base 10. So from what we are seeing, we have 6 base 10, 25 base 10, and 22 base 10. Ascending order means from the lowest to the greatest. So the lowest is 6 base 10, which is 110 base 2. So 110 base 2 is the first, 110 base 2, followed by 22 base 10, which is equivalent to 42, or rather 42 base 5, and then we have 25 base 10, which is equivalent to 31 base 8. So we have 110 base 2, 42 base 5, 42 base 5, and then 31 base 8. So the correct option should be option B, which is 110 base 2, 42 base 5, and 31 base 8. So that's okay. For the question number 20, we have that a notebook of length 15 cm was measured by a student as 16.8 cm. Calculate correct to 2 decimal places the percentage error in the measurements. So from the formula, we have that percentage error is equal to the error divided by the actual or original times 100%. However, what's the error? The error is, we have 16.8 subtracted, or rather 15 subtracted from 16.8, which will give us 1.8 cm as the error. So let's just replace everything in the formula so that the percentage error is equal to our error now, which is 1.8 divided by the original, which is 15, times 100%. So if you multiply 1.8 times 100 and divide by 15, you're going to have 12% as our answer. But since we are asked to leave our answer in 2 decimal places, 12, we can just put 00 for it. So we have 12.00%, and that's the same with the option A. So that is it from question number 11 to question number 20. So we continue the series the next time. So if you're finding any value in these videos, do well to subscribe, like, share with your friends so they can prepare as well for their WAEC and keep solving mathematics. God bless you.